Nobody expected the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to look this good. A team that many counted out after the Brady years has quietly turned into one of the most dangerous stories in the NFL. They're not built on hype or flash anymore. They're built on grit, chemistry, and belief. Every snap feels personal. Every win feels earned. 6-2 at the bye isn't just a record, it's a warning to the rest of the NFC that Tampa Bay is not just alive. They're evolving into something far more dangerous. What's happening inside this locker room feels different. The energy is real, the culture is solid, and the leadership starts with a quarterback who refuses to back down. Baker Mayfield has changed everything about how this team carries itself. The offense moves with confidence, even through the chaos of injuries. They've lost stars, shuffled linemen, and tested rookies, yet somehow they keep producing. Something deeper is driving this team, something that no one saw coming when the season began. But here's where it gets interesting. The Bucs have built their identity on resilience, yet the man behind it all isn't just calling plays on the field. He's redefining what it means to lead in Tampa Bay. The spark that started this run has a name, and his story is only getting better. Because when Baker Mayfield takes the field, the entire franchise follows his heartbeat, and that's where everything begins. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Bucs and all the NFL content. Can we get 200 likes on this video? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers rally behind a quarterback who turns tense moments into calm decisions. Baker Mayfield commands the huddle, shifts protections with a single look, and steals yards when the play breaks. He has played through pain without blinking, and that grit shows up when the stadium gets quiet on 3rd and long. But here is the twist. The more pressure he faces, the more precise he becomes, and that is where this team finds its edge. Results tell the story. Baker is tracking toward just under 4,000 yards with fewer than 5 interceptions, and he has done it while the lineup keeps changing. Timing with new faces, fast reads against exotic looks, and quick releases to beat the rush have kept the offense steady when it could have slipped. What nobody is talking about is how often he chooses the smart throw over the flashy one, protecting field position and trusting the defense to cash in later. Now the spark gets even brighter. A rookie wideout has synced with Baker in a way that tilts the field. The rhythm on slants, the trust on back shoulder fades, the fearless shots when coverage is tight. All of it points to a connection that can swing games in the second half of the season. The shocking part is how fast it clicked. Next up is the breakout that changed Tampa's passing attack, and his name is Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka walked in as a rookie and played like a closer. He wins at the snap with clean footwork, he stacks corners with calm speed, and he finishes catches through contact. The route tree is real, the body control is sharp, and the trust with Baker shows up when the window is tight. The shocking part is the poise. Big moments feel small to him, and that steady energy lifts the whole huddle. Production matches the eye test. He sits in the league's top tier with 7th in receiving yards, tied for 3rd in touchdowns, and top 10 in yards per game, while ranking outside the top 30 in receptions. That gap tells the story. He turns limited chances into chunk plays, punishes single coverage, and turns red zone snaps into real points. What nobody is talking about is his situational mastery. 3rd down, 2-minute drill. He keeps showing up with the right depth and the right angle, which is why this offense holds its nerve when it matters. Now the stakes rise. Defenses will roll coverage his way and live with the risk on the other side. That is where Tampa's edge returns, because pressure on the rookie wideout creates space for the next wave of playmakers. And while the offense grabs headlines, a first-year defender has been building a case of his own. The next chapter shifts to the other side of the ball, where Jacob Parrish is turning quiet snaps into loud results. Tampa Bay's defense has grown into a unit that smothers momentum. It starts with raw control at the line of scrimmage, where veterans crash gaps and force chaos before plays can develop. The rhythm feels different this year. The front attacks in waves, linebackers close space instantly, and the secondary trusts its reads. Every snap carries intent, and that has turned long drives into short punts all season. Vita Vea anchors the identity. He eats double teams, collapses pockets, and forces quarterbacks into hurried throws that end up in bad places. Behind him, Jamel Dean's transformation has changed how opponents plan their routes. Once labeled consistent but quiet, he now erases top receivers and hunts turnovers with confidence. Then there is Tyke Smith, the safety who returned to his natural position and looks like he never left. He hits clean, tracks angles fast, and has become the calm voice at the back end. The defense no longer waits for help from the offense. They set the tone early and finish drives late, which is why Tampa's wins look more complete with each passing week. But buried inside this group is a story that few saw coming, a rookie defender who plays like a veteran and carries numbers that demand attention. His rise has become the latest surprise in Jason Licht's draft book, and his name is Jacob Parrish. Jacob Parrish arrived as a rookie and claimed the nickel spot with zero hesitation. He reads motion fast, times his blitzes with patience, and finishes tackles like a veteran. Offenses try to stress him with stacks and switches, yet he closes space before the ball arrives. The shock is his run support. He slips blocks, sets the edge from the slot, and turns short throws into losses. Tampa trusts him in high leverage downs because he does the simple things with perfect detail. The numbers back it up without any noise. He owns 2 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, and 3 pass breakups, along with 37 total tackles. Pressure is his calling card. He has 7 total pressures, which is first among all cornerbacks, and he ranks top 10 in solo tackles at the position. Quarterbacks are learning the hard way. He has allowed 27 receptions, which sits inside the top tier for fewest allowed, and most of those are tackled on the spot. That blend of speed, control, and finish gives Todd Bowles a chess piece who can wreck a drive from anywhere. Here is the twist. Players like this do not appear by luck. They are identified, developed, and dropped into roles that fit them perfectly. Tampa has made a habit of finding value where others hesitate, and this rookie is the newest proof. If a first-year nickel can change the math on third down, imagine what the architect who drafted him has planned next. The story now moves upstairs to the mind that keeps reshaping this roster, Jason Licht. Jason Licht keeps bending the roster to fit the moment. He does not chase one idea for too long. He listens to his coaches, studies the room, and builds a lineup that matches how they want to win right now. That is why veterans feel supported and rookies earn real snaps. It is the quiet reason this team looks steady even when the depth chart shifts. The blueprint is simple. Find competitors, stack versatile bodies, and keep the pipeline fresh. Look at the rookie class that hit the ground running. Emeka Egbuka gave the offense a new gear. Jacob Parrish changed how the nickel spot is played. Tez Johnson found a lane in the passing game when injuries hit. Elijah Roberts gave the front extra juice in key weeks. That is 4 first-year players shaping real downs in real games. None of that happens without a front office that scouts temperament as much as talent, and then gives the staff exactly the type of players they ask for. There is a reason the building believes the second half can jump another level. More health is on the way, and the foundation is already strong. Licht will not force a splash he does not need, but he will act if the right fit appears. That patience has kept Tampa dangerous without losing future flexibility. Now that the pieces are set, it is time to measure who has carried the load so far. The midseason scoreboard is coming, and some names might surprise you. Offensive MVP goes to Baker Mayfield for calm decisions in chaos and clutch drives that reset games. Defensive MVP belongs to Vita Vea for swallowing double teams and tilting protections so others can finish. Rookie of the Year is Emeka Egbuka for explosive gains with top 10 in yards per game, and tied for third in touchdowns, while sitting outside the top 30 in receptions. Biggest shock is Jamel Dean for turning sticky coverage into takeaways and closing space like a true stopper. Unsung hero is Ben Bredeson for steady work through position shuffles that kept the pocket functional. Now the grades tell the bigger picture. The offense earns a B+ for holding the line through injuries while keeping turnovers low. The defense earns a B+ for controlling tempo and shrinking red zone windows. The overall mark is an A- at the bye, earned with resilience, depth, and game plans that travel. That blend is why narrow moments keep breaking Tampa's way, and why their identity looks stronger every week. Here is where the stakes climb. Health is trending up, roles are clearer, and the schedule offers chances to surge. If timing tightens between Baker and his young targets, and if the front remains violent on early downs, Tampa can push from contender to favorite. The next chapter is not about labels. It is about what returns after the break and how fast the engine roars. The path forward begins now. The next phase is about timing and health. Bucky Irving brings burst to the ground game and opens easy play action. Chris Godwin returns as the chain mover who steadies every drive. Jalen McMillan adds fresh legs to the rotation and forces defenses to cover every inch of grass. If Mike Evans is cleared late, his gravity changes coverages the moment he steps on the field. The line has battled through tough weeks, and with more reps together, their protection and double teams will tighten. That is when this offense can jump a full tier without forcing anything. On defense, the plan is simple. Keep the front violent early, then let the secondary close the door. Vita Vea draws the traffic that frees rush paths for Yaya and the rest. Jamel Dean has shifted how teams call routes, which means Zion McCollum will see more chances to make plays on the ball. Tyke Smith and Antoine Winfield Jr. clean up angles and erase mistakes before they turn into problems. Jacob Parrish will only get faster at processing bunch looks, and that speed turns third and medium into punts. Now, the climb gets real. The NFC will test Tampa with backs who catch on the move and quarterbacks who punish soft zones. The answer is better communication on third down and cleaner red zone execution on both sides of the ball. If the offense stacks quick starts and the defense keeps the run in check, this race tilts fast. The shocking part is how close they are to that switch. One crisp month and the picture of the conference can change. And the question becomes, who is ready to deal with Tampa when everything clicks?